The Aeroskin hood protector for the 2021 and newer F-150 here might just be one of the better fitting options I've seen, available at a very affordable price point. Now, the Aeroskin will combine that injection molded acrylic build along with that dark smoked appearance, all for right around that low $100 price point. So the idea behind a hood protector like this is pretty simple, right? Reduce or help eliminate the unsightly paint chips caused by stones or other debris while on the road. Now, the reality is if you spend a good amount of time on the highway or on the road in general, your leading edge of that hood does get a little bit beat up from tiny rock chips or stones getting kicked up by other cars and trucks in front of you. But let's get into the Aeroskin option a bit more here, and what you're gonna find is that tough acrylic build that we talked about earlier, finished in that dark smoked appearance. That's kind of a par for the course feature with a lot of these hood deflectors. Now, in my opinion, what separates this particular option is that acrylic material is gonna be a tad bit thinner than some of your other options in the category, but at the same time, what that allows the company to do, in this case AVS, is to really mold this thing perfectly to the lines of the factory hood. And they do it so well that for my money, guys, this is easily one of the most low profile options or best fitting options I've personally seen available for the 2021 and newer F-150s once it's been installed. Now, the reason for that killer fitment here with the Aeroskin is all in the design. Now, unlike other hood deflectors or protectors that might just utilize this bottom edge here as your sole mounting location to your factory hood, that's not the case here with the Aeroskin. The Aeroskin actually comes equipped with 3M tape on both the top and the bottom of the deflector or protector. And so basically that's going to allow this entire thing to basically mount flush to the leading edge of your factory hood. Now, I know some of you guys might be saying, well, I don't want to see 3M tape through this thing. Well, you're not gonna have to worry about that, guys, because honestly, it is so dark, this tint job, that looking through it here, even in our bright lights of our little room, you can't tell there's tape on this thing at all. So if you do have any concerns about that, I wouldn't let that be the case at all. And again, it is going to help lead to a very tight, very sleek fit. But now we want to shift gears and show you what it takes to get the Aeroskin in place on your 21 and newer F-150 at home. The site's going to call this correctly a soft 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, about 15 minutes from start to finish. Again, it's pretty much a peel and stick job here, guys. But to give you a better idea of how this one will go down at home, here's an AT customer to walk you through the job now.
A few tools that we're going to need for the job are including a bucket of sudsy water to clean the hood to make sure it's free of any oils, grease, or any bug matter. We want the best adhesion we can get. We're going to want a damp and a dry towel to make sure that our hood is thoroughly dry and free of anything that might be a little extra hard to move. We're also going to need the hood protector to dry fit. We're going to need the alcohol pads to prep the area where we're going to be sticking the adhesives, and also a surface prep pad, which we're going to do the entire under part of where the installation is going to occur. I normally use the scissor to open up those packets instead of ripping them. I don't want to damage them. I want to make sure they're all in one piece. I've got my instructions handy. I've got gloves to apply the alcohol and the surface prep, and also masking tape. When we dry fit the hood protector, we're going to protect the area just above it to make sure we don't get any alcohol on the wax finish. All right, so we're going to take our sponge. We're going to get it good and wet and soapy. Make sure we get that car wash on there. And we're going to clean the surface area of the hood, just on and just beyond the area that we're going to be making the installation. Now I'm going to remove with a damp cloth the soap and water, double checking this to make sure that all my area is clear of any debris. If I see any little oil rainbows there, I know that we definitely got to redo it. But so far so good. Now I'm going to take my dry cloth, my microfiber cloth, make sure that's totally dry, free of any spots, any possible problems with the seams. Okay, now we have our hood protector. It comes in this plastic bag to protect it. And if you'll notice, It also comes with protective clear coating on the front. And that's going to come in handy when we have to press down on our adhesive. Plus it also protects any scratches or any damage during shipping. On the back, we'll have 2 adhesive strips in the very center, the top and on the bottom, on the center and on the sides. That's going to max out your sleek look and adhesion of this product. So let's give it a dry fit and see where we're actually coming out here. Okay, what I like to do is make sure I start on one side, press it into the position that I'd like it to be, and then make sure it's going down nice and flush and flat. As you can see on this side and on this side, they're exactly the same. So we know that we're dead center right where we are. What we don't want to do is when we treat the area that we're going to prep for the adhesive, we don't want to get on any areas that might be showing on our hood and damage the wax. So what we're going to do, and I'm just going to put a little pressure up against this, is we're going to take the masking tape and we're going to go right on the leading top edge of the protector, making sure that we follow the line all around and hug that top of that protector. Keep it in place with one hand, push it down or up as needed. Get that on there real good. This is only really going to be a line for us to follow so we don't overdo it with that surface prep. We want it to stick real good, and sometimes we tend to want it to stick too good. As you can see, I got about half of it off right there. You notice it slipped down, so I just push that up. Okay, pushing this in and close, I'm going to just put my tape down right on that edge, knowing that's exactly where I want it. And again, taking the masking tape, making sure that I'm right on that edge. I don't want any dull spots on my finish. Okay. All right, we're golden. Now it's time for us to take our foot protector off, and we're going to be opening up and prepping the area for the installation. Okay, now we're going to take our alcohol prep pad and we're going to open them up, and we're going to have a good clean surface to prep. This is why the scissors come in handy, because fingernails don't actually do the job. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get our leading edge. That's the main part, which is right here. This is our leading edge, right across here, through here, and across here. This is the leading edge for the sticky pad underneath, the super adhesive underneath the hood protector. That's what's going to hold it on for the most part. Now what we want to do is use both sides, and we get 2 of these pads. So we want to make sure that these are nice and protected. And get it up over on this side as well. And let that dry just a moment. And then I'm going to take it, I'm going to do the top half as well. Knowing where the adhesive strips are on the hood protector are a huge help. I'm going to do the top part here just to help with adhesion. Come on down, and as you see, the masking tape really comes in handy. There's no guesswork here. We're getting the entire area where the adhesive is going to go all prepped out. Cover again. So sure that we get everything that the adhesive is going to stick to. Flip that over. And it's important to check that pad. If that pad is dirty, then you know you need to rewash. Okay, so make sure the pad is clean, and you know that you have all that invisible oil and or grease that might be on there. But more importantly, you don't have any dirt. Okay, got my protective glove on, so now I'm gonna open up the package of surface prep, and I'm just gonna carefully make it a little wider here and have a nice surface area to use to cover the hood. So This is the hood protector, this is the packet. It's a surface prep from the hood protector package. Now, as you see, I'm going through. This is stronger than the alcohol. So this is a really, really good surface prep. You do not want to get this above that masking tape line. So what this is doing is just making a little bit of a porous surface. So you want to cover all the area with the surface prep. All right. Okay, we're good. So you no longer need that. And we're going to dispose of the masking tape. Okay, now that our surface prep is thoroughly dried on the vehicle, now we're going to check out the adhesive strips and prep them for installation. Now, as you'll notice, we have red adhesive strips. These are super adhesive, double-sided, one on top, one on the bottom. And what we want to do is we want on each strip to start a 2-inch edge from the center, closest to the center, working our way out. So we want the 2 center pieces of tape removed back on the top and on the bottom, so we can easily access them when we do our installation. Okay, so that's the ideal way. Okay, so now we want to do the same thing with this strip. Remember, once we start this, we can't lift it up because that, especially with that surface prep, it's going to be a real good snug fit. So let's get this one backed up and this one backed up. Okay, now's time for the fit. But before that, I just want you to notice, if you're worried about these little areas in between, especially right up here, there's a little rubber protector here just to make sure that any vibration or wind does not have an area where you have plastic to metal. So that is a really good addition that they put onto this protector. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm starting at the right location. So I'm going to start on this edge, and I'm going to get it to the very end. Now remember that we don't have any adhesive exposed over here, so we're pretty safe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it around the front, making sure I can still access all of those tabs. I'm going to make sure the leading edge of the protector is down, up against the hood thoroughly, because the way this hood goes, it comes on a slant and then it goes down, so it fits really snug. Then I want to come around on this side. Now we're going to check this side and the other side. We have a real good fit right here. Now let's come around the other side and make sure that we have the same fit. And it's the same look while we hold it up in the center. That's perfect. Okay, now let's get ready to hook this guy. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start at the top. We're going to pull 6 inches of adhesive up, and we're going to work our way out, pushing the adhesive to the hood of the truck. Okay, we can always push out. Do another 6 inches and hit it real good with a nice firm downward motion. While you're doing that, just make sure that you're holding the bottom of the hood protector to the hood to make sure you got a good snug fit down there. So I'm going to continue on. Once again, nice, good, firm motion. Now we got all that first piece off. That's awesome. And we're really good. Let's double check our edge here. Okay, we're right where we want to be. Okay, so let's start with the next one. Remember, we're going to do all the top first. Okay, get the rest of that guy out. And we got a real good fit on him. Nice and tight and snug. Now let's move to the other side of the top. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing in the opposite direction. We're going to go from the inside to the outside. Making sure, again, that we're snug up against the bottom. And we got a good tight fit. Now don't worry about these little pieces of plastic. This is the protector, remember. This is to make sure while we're rubbing it, we're not doing any scratching to the protector. So let's check this one out. Look at that. Couldn't be a better fit. These guys must have laser measured this thing. This is amazing. Oop, see, caught a little snag there. So I'm gonna have to pick that up. There we go. That's why it's always good to have that tab out there. Pull that up. Make sure we're snug, and we're going to firmly attach it. Okay, no worry about the rubbing again. The coating's on there. Okay, now we're going to complete this with removing the bottom tape. So we're going to take that and we're going to do this side here first. We're going to come through 6 inches and we're going to firmly apply that leading edge. About 6 inches at a time. And the reason we are working our way out is because we don't want to buckle this. We don't want to see any place that there's going to be a buckle. So we always work from the inside out. Okay, that's all of that. That's the first one. I'm going to dispose of these responsibly. Okay, now we're going to start the next one. It's down in place. Got really super snug fit. It's amazing. Okay, there we go. And you're done there. That's on there nice and snug. Absolutely no movement. That surface prep is amazing. Do not ever cut that surface prep out of your preparation. That is amazing stuff. Okay, now we're going to start on the passenger side in about 6 inches at a time, working our way out. Another little bit, and a little more. And we're at the edge. Double check one last time. Downward to the left motion here, making sure that it's snug and not binding up in any areas. And all the way to the end. Okay, now we're going to see what this looks like without the protective cover on it. So we're going to start peeling that up carefully from the driver's side over. Very slow and careful. A little bit of protector under there. Get that out. This is just a little thin piece of protective plastic. So no worries on taking that off. So don't get nervous when you open up the box. All the way across. All right.
So if you are looking for one of the sleekest ways to help protect that hood on your 21 and newer F-150 at home, then be sure to check out the Aeroskin option right here at AmericanTrucks.com.